So hello everybody, welcome to another Heretic Wargaming Battle Report. So I'm reporting to you guys from an undisclosed location. My buddy John. Hi, John.
What's up?
So we're at John's house playing a game. So we have decided to play ITC Mission 1, which is Seize Ground. And the reason for that is actually John is going to participate in, what's the GT's name?
It's the Dallas Grand Tournament for 2019.
Okay, so the Dallas Grand Tournament, and he just found out, I guess, they're using ITC missions now instead of Nova missions. So, pretty neat. So, I luckily know ITC better than Nova. So today, John, he has very many armies. He's brought along some guardsmen with their good old buddy Castellans. What do you got going here, John?
All right, I've got one battalion of... I chose to use the Vestroyan to try something different. For my HQ, I'm taking one company commander and then the tank commander, and then I've got a second battalion over here with, you guessed it, another company commander and two tank commanders. And then I took a Emperor's Wrath artillery company over here, which actually this guy is supposed to be with them. My mistake. Okay, so there, that's them.
And they're part of that.
Actually, he's supposed to be over here. Okay, again, my mistake. And then I took a auxiliary super heavy detachment with, yes, the Castellan, the broken, cheesy Knight.
All right. And he's got Call's Wrath and Ion Bulwark. And
yes,
all the
that is
stuff.
correct. And I took him as House Hawkshroud and not Raven, which is what most people do.
So what was your thinking when taking him as Hawkshroud?
I took him as Hawkshroud because at the beginning of the game, I get to choose one unit, and I'm hitting them on a 2-up, no matter what. And on top of that, when I take damage, I get to scale up how many wounds that I have left by ×2, so he lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah, so he doesn't tear as quickly.
Exactly,
so,
yes.
But yeah, so he paid for the Emperor's Wrath artillery companies, all those dudes. Where's your secondary HQs?
My secondary HQ for this company is right here.
Oh, so it's two tank commanders then?
Two tank commanders.
Okay.
And then I've got one here and then one tank commander. Then this guy's with these.
All right.
These
and they all have the Punisher cannons?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
These are all Punishers.
Yes. So, yes.
Punishers with heavy bolters and... Yeah.
Okay. So, yet again, I get to face Punishers. So, yay. I hate Punishers. So, 2,000 points. So, let's go over to the Demon side and see what we're running over there. The Demon. So I'm actually running a variation of the list that I ran actually against IG in my last battle report. So we have the Supreme Command of Thousand Suns right here, two Demon Princes with the talons and wings with their buddy Ahriman. We've got a total of 40 Plague Bearers. Both have the icon, and then one of them has the instrument, which I think is the white group. It really doesn't matter, they're kind of the same. We've got a Poxbringer here, Scrivener, and the Sloppity Biopopper. I'm going to give the Poxbringer, let's see, what do I want? I'm actually going to take Miasma on my Poxbringer for this game. We've got 27 Bloodletters with all the bells and whistles, and they are going to be going into Deep Strike. And then we got 3 Contemptor Dreadnoughts with Havoc Launchers, Butcher Cannons, along with their buddy Demon Prince, he is my Warlord with the Separating Plate. And I'm actually going to take Revoltingly Resilient this time because I do not need the reroll wounds from Arch Contaminator. So John started out with, I think, 11 CP after he spent? You spent 2, right?
Yeah, I spent 2. I'm spending 2 off the bat for extra war gear. I have 5 here, 3, so I've got 11 left.
So he's got 11 left, and I am starting the game with 7 because I did not spend anything extra except for the guys going to Deep Strike. So, ITC Mission 1, and we're going to roll off for deployment. We'll deploy, and I'll be right on back. So here we are at the end of deployment. So the Nurgle or demon side, you can see, kind of clustered up there. You got the the plague bearers all in a big line right there, with all my support guys behind. I kind of scattered the butcher cannon contemptors out there, and that's mostly because of line of sight. It'll be hard for the Castellan, especially if he doesn't get first turn, to draw line of sight on 2 of these guys, but we'll see. He'll probably most likely get to him and blow him up. We know what Castellans do. And then over here, you got the guard/knight blob. Literally, it is a blob of dudes here in the corner. And he's hiding his big tanks in the back. And then in reserve, we've got the 26 bloodletters ready to drop in at a moment's notice to whack something.
The Cathedral of Nastiness.
Yeah, the Cathedral of Nastiness. So, it was weird. I actually beat John by 1 drop. So I get the +1 to my roll. So let's see what we get. I get a 4. And he gets a 1. I take you want to seize?
I will try.
He's going to try. Oh, he got a 3. So John, good luck. And hopefully this game, hopefully I don't get blown up this game like I did the last one. So we'll see you guys at the end of Nurgle's turn 1. Alright, so the end of the Demon's turn 1. So as you can imagine, I actually didn't do very much. I was able to get Doombolt off and hit the Castellan here, so he took a few wounds. So he's now down at, what is it, 25 wounds. So, yeah, did 3 wounds to him. I did a bunch of wounds to the Punisher. He's down to 8. And then I hit this front squad with a bunch of Butcher Cannons and stuff, but because of, you know, cover and everything, because I could only literally see this front dude right there, he actually made a ton of saves, and he made his morale. So
I should have left those dice out on the table. I really
yeah, he rolled really well. Other than that, I just moved up all the demons, basically to get in a position to start controlling all these objectives. I know I've left this one untended for this turn, but that's because right now I actually hold, I believe, it'll be 3 with this one. Yep. So just barely hold that one. So I hold 3 right now, but we'll see how much he blows up. Oh, I did get off Diabolic Strength, basically all my spells on this guy, and then I got Miasma on this squad right here. So hopefully they will live through this turn of John's shooting, but we'll wait and see. So withholding judgment. So we'll go on to the IG/Knights turn 1. So welcome to the end of the IG Castellan turn 1. So John, he moved up slightly here with all the Punisher cannons and the Castellan who could move 5 inches. Yay, Doombolt. But that was enough. John actually flubbed his rolls here, and the Contemptor was actually his target for the hitting on 2s. But between the Volcano Cannon, which I think wounded once. One time. He did like 8 wounds. And then he launched a Siegebreaker missile at it and rolled a 2 for the wounds, which left me with 1 wound. Two wounds. And then those autocannon guys in the back there actually had to clean up the mess that the Castellan made. So then John unleashed all the Punishers on my front Plague Bearers here, and I lost a total of 21 between them shooting, the Wyverns in the back, and some Guardsmen here. That's mostly because I have the -2 to hit from Miasma. So he wiped out about 21 of my Plague Bearers here, and then I did the ballsy move to go ahead and try the Sloppity Biopiper. I rolled a 6 and a 4, and then I re-rolled one of the dice and rolled a 1, luckily, and brought back 6 Plague Bearers. So Plague Bearers didn't run away. Yeah, that's a win for Nurgle. But John right now has actually got a commanding lead, so I only held an objective and held more, while John scored an old school point, a Reaper point, and he killed more, killed more, and held an objective. So here's to hoping my next turn is pretty good and I'm able to actually start doing some damage to his army. And we will see you guys at the end of Nurgle turn 2. So the end of the Demons turn 2. So I learned my lesson from my last game, facing some guys. Sorry, I didn't get my big game 100 point. From my last time facing IG, and I decided instead of trying to go for the tanks, I decided to go for the squishy bits that he had here on the side. So the bloodletters all dropped in there. Oh, I forgot to roll their morale. 4. How many did I lose? 4. So they're good. Yep, leadership 7 or 8. So charged in there. Oh, they are leadership 7. Sorry, I didn't lose one. But so I charged in there on the side, and thanks to Brady's videos. So if you have not seen Brady, I believe it's Almost Pro Gaming. So I watched his melee video and learned quite a bit from your video. So thank you, Brady, giving you a shout out. I charged into the side here, and I rolled a 14-inch charge with the banner. So it was pretty nuts. So I moved my dudes up to 14 inches. Stayed outside of an inch of the tank here, outside of an inch of all these dudes. And then once I piled into, I declared a charge on these 2 units here. Killed all the dudes there, piled into everything else right here, and then consolidated forward. So essentially what's going to happen is he's going to back up, and I'm probably going to lose all those bloodletters, but hey, they did their job, soaking up some fire for a turn. Then over here, my mortal wounds from all my spells actually killed this Punisher. So I actually did smite there, smite there, smite there, killed it. This guy right here actually has Glamour of Tzeentch and the +1 Invo and Weaver Fates or whatever. So he charged in here with Diabolic Strength, wiped out a bunch of dudes here in the corner. His Castellan, so Hawkshroud, I guess it's one of their abilities, he overwatched for the unit, but he actually rolled really, really bad. Yeah, really. Yeah, there's his thumbs down. Really, really bad. I think he hit me once with a Volcano Cannon, and my 3-up Invo saved me. He actually did have to use a reroll to wound me, too. So you can see he had a pile of a ton of CPs down to just 1 now. So, yeah, another thumbs down. And so then the Demon Prince beat up a bunch of dudes. The Castellan came in. To John's credit, he did not know the Castellan had a 4-up weapon skill. So he was hitting me on 5s because of Glamour. And literally whiffed, and the Demon Prince laughed at him, and all was joyous in the demon world. So my strategy is actually working out. My whole strategy is to actually spread out here and control all the objectives. So right now I'm actually controlling 5 objectives, so I got the bonus. Actually, I'm controlling all 6, I want to say. Yeah.
Actually,
I'm controlling all 6 right now. Yeah, you are. So I was actually able to score a bunch of points that turn. So right now the score is 7-5.
But you score that at the end.
That's, oh yeah, the bonus.
Yeah.
Is it at the end of round? Oh, okay. So I didn't get the bonus.
So I still get to go.
Yeah, he still gets. So I don't have the bonus yet.
So I still got a chance.
Yeah. So it'll be it's 6-5 right now. And I killed 3 units that turn. So we'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of IG turn 2. Okay, so the end of the Astra-Millitarium, turn 2. So he rolled pretty poorly for these guys here in the corner. However, he started rolling real hot here and real hot here. So he was actually able to wipe out all the bloodletters to a man and kill 2 demon princes. Even though this guy had a 3-up invuln save, I failed a bunch of saves. It was a lot of saves that I failed. So he actually picked up 3 units. So I was actually quite surprised by that. So that actually put us both at the same kills for that turn. But I did hold more, because I held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives, actually. So I did get the bonus still. So right now the score is 7 me and 8 John. So it's a real close game, and I'm running out of steam. So we'll see what I can end up doing at the top of Nurgle turn 3. So the end of the Demons turn 3. So I didn't actually have very much to do. I kind of just scooched up my characters here in a line and smited that forward Punisher a bunch, charged in, wiped it out with my Demon Prince, who has Blades of Putrefaction and Diabolic Strength on him right now. So he's pretty beefy. Then I hit this tank, only wounded it once. So, and then over here I unloaded a Contemptor into the side of this Wyvern here, and he made a bunch of saves, and it didn't do anything. So, and then I just piled into the Castellan there. So, and then he lost a bunch of guys here from leadership because I did unload on them with a Butcher Cannon. So right now my plan is to basically just try to survive. I'm running out of steam, and John still has a bunch of shooting to do. So we'll see what happens to the Nurgle at the bottom of 3. Oh, and right now the score is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 to John's 8. So I'm sure he's going to shore that up this turn. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, so the end of the Astra-Millitarium turn 3. So we had a lot of laughs this turn. So the Castellan actually walked around the Plague Bearers here, and then succeeded in waxing Ahriman with some melta-guns. He melted him straight to the face, and he died. Then I had a Contemptor over here that took like a bazillion volcano cannon shots because I failed my saves. But over here, Demon Prince took all of this fire and then some. And he lived with, he only took like 3 wounds. So.
Yeah, we don't like this.
Yeah. So, and then the Castellan actually attempted to try to wipe out my Plague Bearers here. And I actually rolled pretty well on my saves. And then with Sloppity Biopepper from morale, I only lost 2 more guys. So I'm actually holding pretty well. I've got good table control. Me and John just talked about it. It's going to be really hard for him to get me off of these now. And then over here in this corner, we'll kind of see what I can end up doing. I don't have too many hopes for what I can do in this corner with just a Demon Prince, essentially. But we'll kind of see what's happening. So right now the score, so I'm up to 12 points, while John has 5, 10, he's got 13. So he's still beating me by 1 because he killed more that turn, but I still held more, and I actually did get the bonus finally for that turn. So we'll see what I can end up trying to pull out. The game is kind of narrowing down, so we'll see what happens at the end of Nurgle's turn 4. At this point, I've probably lost the game at this point.
For this guy right here.
So the end of Nurgle turn 4, so it's kind of winding down. I'm running out of steam. I have very little steam left, actually. Especially because John, for some reason, can roll a ton of saves. Oh, this Wyvern still got 2 wounds left. So, but I could also make a lot of saves. So what ended up happening was I kept the Plague Bearers in combat. They piled in here against the Castellan. He spent his last 2 CP because he kept gaining CP from me. I spent my last CP as well, re-rolling for my spell for Blades of Putrefaction. But so I actually ended up doing, I think, 7, 8 wounds to the Castellan. Right. Did quite a few, but he's still at 16 wounds left. And then this is actually my save roll for the Poxbringer. So he interrupted to try to kill the Poxbringer, and I rolled stupidly well for his Feel No Pains. So, yeah, Poxbringer is a beast. He just took a stomp and just got right back up. Other than that, I've just kind of spread out, so I'm still maintaining basically this half of the board control. But, yeah, I have a feeling at this point it's going to slowly go downhill. The big swinging point, I think, was over here when he killed the 2 Demon Princes in the 1 turn. That was highly, highly unexpected. He actually did a good job coming over here and killing Ahriman when he did, instead of focusing down my stuff. And I'm critically keep failing spells on my dudes. I actually failed Blades of Putrefaction, which would have given me quite a few more wounds on the Castellan. So that was kind of the idea. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens at the bottom of Astra-Millitarium turn 4.
Got their
yeah.
pushed in, so there.
So the end of IG turn 4. So at this point, I'm probably going to end up losing this game. It's been a really good game, but I realized I picked the wrong secondaries, and at the same point, I didn't play to the mission. But I'm going to keep pushing through, because you can see I've literally only scored 2 big game hunter points. And a big part of that, and I picked Headhunter because I figured I would kill his dudes back there. Oh, wait, I did kill 2 tank commanders, didn't I?
2.
Oh, I do have 2 points for that. Sorry. Oh, well, hey, at least I did something. But, so right now the score is John has 18, and I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So he's still eking me out very slowly. So the Castellan unloaded on the Demon Prince here, and he still lived. He had 2 wounds left, and it was up to everything on this side to kill the 1 Demon Prince, who finally biffed it after a lot of shooting. So it was actually pretty funny. Me and John were laughing pretty hysterically. So my goal right now is to live, to run away, hide, and try to basically milk out the last few turns, get maximum, as many points as I can actually get, and we'll see kind of what happens by the end. But as of now, I do not have high hopes for the end of this game. So, but we'll see what happens on the Nurgle's turn. Yeah, Nurgle turn 5 now. Yeah, turn 5. Most of our games end before this. So
I'm bracketed
So we've ran out of battery life in the GoPro up there. It's actually charging. So sorry, you guys that were expecting the fast in-between turns. So my turn was really quick. I basically advanced the Plague Bearers to just kind of spread out between objectives. I advanced the Sloppy Biopiper over there. I actually hid the Scrivener down there by the objective. He's actually inside that building. That way the Punisher can't get to him and this guy can't get to him. But all those infantry dudes, if they choose to come in there, bring it on, bro. But he can unload all the artillery on him if he wants to. And then I unloaded all the Contemptor shots into this guy, and he actually failed a bunch of saves finally. And so I've actually bracketed him. So now he is down a bracket. So the idea was to basically slow him down. That way his chances of killing all that over there is pretty... I'm trying to lower his chances of killing me. But we'll see what ends up happening at IG turn 5. So the end of this this IG turn 4, so it was very uneventful actually. He unloaded the Castellan. Most of his guns actually went into the Plague Bearers, and because he needed 6s to hit me, did very, very little, and I made actually a bunch of saves. Then he shot the Volcano Lance over there, only doing... Actually, I made my save. Yeah, so I think he wounded me once with the plasma there. Then it was up to all these guys here in the corner. They all unloaded in the Contemptor, and he lived with 1 wound left. Thanks to... so we were counting this. This is actually a forest, so I was giving him cover shooting through it at these guys. So he was giving me the same courtesy because I'm on the other side of the forest there. So in case you guys were wondering, so I had a 2-up save. That's actually why I lived through most of his AP0 shooting. But neither of us killed anything that turn. So it ended up being... so I held more, and John held 1. So right now, the score is 5, 10, 14. I have 18. John has 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1 point difference. It's a 1 point difference right now. So we'll see what ends up happening at the during basically the last turn. So we'll see if I can do anything to his army. So the end of turn 6. So actually, we ended up just kind of rolling out the last turn because everything I just tried failed. So what ended up happening is I had 3 chances to try to secure some more points at the end of the game. So I had the Contemptor at 1 wound. So my goal was to try to wipe out this 5-man squad here and kill this Wyvern. So Havoc Launcher and 1 Butcher Cannon went here. I killed 4 dudes. No. Was there 5 guys there?
There were 5. You killed 4.
4, and then you rolled a so 6, 8. So no matter what you would have rolled, they would have failed their leadership, right?
Well, hold on.
What's their leadership? 7?
7, yeah.
So he would have died then. Because if I killed 4...
No, you killed 4.
Minus 2 leadership.
Oh, minus 2 leadership, yes.
So then you rolled a 2, so he would have died. Hey, I at least got some points. So hold on. Let me go add myself. So I'd have gotten 1 old school point.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that minus 2.
And I would have gotten that kill point. And then 1 point for hold more. So anyways, I guess I did kill something. So I did end up killing those dudes. This guy right here, I shot a Butcher Cannon at it. And because I'm down to my lowest tier, I only hit it and wounded it once. And he passed his save. So those, I was trying to get another big game hunter point there. Then my Scrivener came out of his hiding spot and charged into this company commander. Hit and wounded 4 times. Because I did generate an extra attack. And then... yeah, he passed 1 save, so he's still alive. And then we rolled it out. He would have actually ended up killing the Scrivener because, I mean, he's taken all that to the face and all this to the face and probably that to the face if he had to. And then that dude over there definitely would have died. We didn't even bother rolling that. So, and he wouldn't have been able to kill enough Plague Bearers to actually make a dent in my little triangle here. So it ended up being John got 5, 10... 15. He maxed out Butcher's Bill and the Reaper, so that's another 8 points, so 23 points. He got 26. And then I've got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 points. So John beat me by 4 points. It was a really, really close game. It was really fun. We both had highs and lows. Definitely the dice were with us sometimes and against us sometimes. But, yeah, it was a great game, and I look forward to playing John multiple. I think we'll probably end up playing multiple times.
Anytime.
So
anytime.
And we'll do the post-battle thoughts. All right, I'm recording. So John, how'd the game go?
The game went really good. Both armies were fairly equally matched. I met my match over here. The close combat I could not keep up with. That having been said, the shooting was a little bit overwhelming, but that having been said, it came down to just one or two decisions, one or two bad rolls. It was a great game.
Yeah, no,
it was a great game.
Thought it was really good. John played a really solid. I think he did really well back here. So this is kind of the end state of his army. I actually already picked up my army, but so we actually talked about it in the deployment phase. So he deployed the Castellan as his very last thing. And so as preparation for the Castellan, I actually hid a couple of my dreadnoughts behind this piece of terrain here because I didn't want him to shoot me, right? But as John pointed out, if I had positioned the Contemptors in a way that way they might be able to like come behind here and actually shoot at his army this way, I would have been. It took till what, turn 2?
Yeah, it was turn 2. So basically the two Castellans that were hiding over here. They didn't do anything on turn 1, so it was a whole turn that they just... I couldn't shoot at them, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And it enabled me to isolate the one that was visible and get rid of it.
Yeah, the one back there in the...
Exactly,
yeah. Over there. Yep, so... but I think that was probably like the biggest misplay of my deployment. I think we were both playing a lot of chess over here, between the Contemptor, fighting the Plague Bearers, and everything going on over there, so... I learned a lot. John learned a lot. So,
I did.
I thought it was a fantastic game, and I think the close games are the ones you learn the most from. Getting stomped in the ground sometimes, it's no fun for anyone, I don't think. Maybe the guy who's rolling the dice. But no, it was really close. 4-point difference at the end. So even though it felt like towards the end I was sliding, I still was able to keep up with him somewhat. So
in closing, if anyone's watching this with any kind of poll, the Castellan needs to be nerfed.
So yes, even though he was not running the Raven strat, which we talked about, it actually might have not mattered too much, because he did end up using the CP a lot for the his dudes here in the back. He also used them to consolidate all of his autocannons under one guy, and he used that to overwatch one time for the dudes that back there in the back, even though it didn't do anything. But we talked about if he had been House Raven, it might have not impacted the game as much.
I don't think any house would have impacted the game outside of the fact that I was able to overwatch, which did nothing.
Yeah.
But it was brought to my attention that if I take this as an Ox, I can't use the house rules, so I'm not able to do some of the stuff that I thought I was able to do.
Yep.
So I burned command points for something that really didn't do anything. So really, what house is... it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so... But we did talk about the craziness of the Castellan. You can beat them. I mean, I got it down to 10 wounds in the end, even with it squishing most of my army. I probably should have ignored it. So over there, when I actually charged it with the Demon Prince and everything, I probably should have ignored it and actually gone for this corner here. Because I might have actually killed a character or something, got a few more points. But instead I fed him my Warlord for pretty much no gain. So, yeah, I think I did like 4 wounds to it, and then my Warlord died.
On that note...
Oh, yep. Yeah, so he's got the police
over.
lights. Yeah, why didn't you should have turned those on for the video. That would have been fun. He likes to put LEDs in his stuff, so...
I know, I have a problem.
Yeah, he has an LED problem, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I was wondering where that was at. So, fantastic game, and I'll give my thoughts when I do the drive home. So... Hey fellow heretics, so this game was amazing. I actually had a lot of fun with John. Every time we get to meet up, which is it's not very often, I always have a really fun game with him. So it was actually really nice. He normally plays his Eldar against me, and so he decided to whip out the old Castellan and some IG to give me a good run for my money. So I always learn the most from games that are really close as opposed to games that are blowout one way or the other, right? So strategically, I think that I did the right things during the game. I think it had a few dice rolls gone one way or the other, it might have been a different story. In the end, I think going at the Castellan was probably the bad idea. When I just had the one Demon Prince left. Had I basically ignored the Castellan and just kind of went off on the rest of his army, the Castellan would have had to still chew through all those Plague Bearers or back up more to get to my Demon Prince. As it stands, I basically fed him my Demon Prince by charging into it, knowing that full well that I would not be able to kill the Castellan. The whole plan there, though, was to actually try to tier it, and because I knew once I tiered it, that the Castellan would have a incredibly hard time actually picking off all the rest of my Plague Bearers, or even hurting my Demon Prince, right? Because then he's hitting on 5s, and I had miasma on him, which would have been 6s. But sadly, that did not work out, and John was able to capitalize, and he was able to basically almost tabled me. I just had some Plague Bearers left. So it was a great game. I look forward to my next game with John. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you guys are feeling generous, check out my Patreon or my Facebook page and give me a like there. Both of those are in the description box. And until next time, see you guys later.